Firstly, what do you make of yesterday's response by the board to the meeting that took place in Parliament?
Firstly, it would be incorrect to talk about a board, to talk about a chairperson of the board of SABC. There is no board at SABC. So whatever meeting took place yesterday was illegal. It adds to already illegal some of the unlawful decisions, irrational decisions taken by the former board. What was faced by the parliamentary committee? What do we do with 4 members of the board who are remaining? What do you do with them? That's why in the discussion, the deliberations of the committee, there was a suggestion that perhaps additionally to a proposal, a due process of inquiry, shouldn't we write a letter to individuals remaining? Because these individuals can't sit, can't take a decision. So you could even ask a legal question. What was the standing legally of the press conference yesterday addressed by someone calling himself a chairperson of the board? So we think from our point of view, the immediate decision that needs to be taken in order to stabilize the institution, because I think Parliament Committee, it went a long way to restore credibility and the public confidence to the national broadcaster. The minister, as a shareholder rep, must immediately suspend or fire the remaining 4 members, because their actions, I think they will damage more the cooperation. If you look at some of the statements as expressed, the unbridled arrogance displayed by the 4 remaining members, including the unbridled arrogance by now joined by executive management members, we think that they own SABC as a household. Both Parliament and all of us, we have a responsibility at least to protect what is left of SABC.
Do you not recognize the board of the SABC as it stands?
The board is not 4 people in terms of what is defined, because
yes, but do you not recognize them as a board, as the ANC currently?
There is no board at SABC. It's not about to recognize it or not. There is no board at SABC. 4 people can't make a board because they can't meet, they can't take any decision legally. And therefore, the question which we ask the shareholder rep, the minister, please do something about the remaining 4, because it would appear they still think they constitute themselves a board, and legally they have no standing.
What kind of loggerheads is this SABC matter going to result in, particularly politically? The minister is a political deployee. She answers to the president and the government, but also answers to the ANC. And the split here, Zizi, some say, is because, well, there are issues, there are fractions within the ANC, and those fractions playing themselves out very clearly between what is happening now with the minister who is said, of course, who's been said to say, well, she's actually not going to do much about it. She's going to leave the situation as it is.
This past Monday, the national officials of the ANC met with the Minister of Communication to raise, among others, some of the issues that have bedeviled SABC for a very long time, including the issue before it went to Parliament of the SABC board. All SOC boards, the boards of SOCs, unfortunately, I think honeymoon has come to an end, where they will just think that they can act illegally, unlawful and irrational, creating a Zen perception that somewhere they are acting on behalf of somebody who protects them. I think what happened in Parliament signaled the first warning shot that will not tolerate anything in the ANC. What we have spoken about is that the minister is a shareholder rep, of course, will continue to engage, including the call we are making to the shareholder rep, that immediate action that must be taken is to suspend or fire these remaining 4 members of the board, because keeping them clearly will damage more the cooperation.
Zizi, have you engaged directly with the minister on this issue?
From today, as you know, there's a Lekgotla caucus in Parliament. That issue will not be part of the discussion of the Lekgotla, but I would assume that in the course of the discussions, the ANC has got away.
But are you going to engage with the minister on this issue? You have access to her.
Like I've already indicated, we met with the minister this past Monday. So whenever we have an issue with our deployees...
Did you ask her to fire the board on Monday when you met with her?
When we spoke this morning, when I spoke to the Secretary General, to say, Secretary General, you're going to address caucus in Parliament. This is a view of the African National Congress. All what you need to do, it's not like we should have spoken to the minister to ask a permission first as the ANC to speak. As a deployee of the ANC, would be to communicate the decision of the ANC to say, this is what we think as the ANC. And the person who can do that is the Secretary General.
What happens if she takes you on and does not, in fact, suspend the members of the SABC board?
There are so many people who tried to take the ANC on, and many of them have fallen flat on their face. And I don't think we expect that from a deployee, Comrade Faith, a committed and disciplined member of the ANC. And I think you will take any cue from the African National Congress.
Is that a threat, Zizi?
It's not a threat. I mean, we've done that before. So many people have threatened to take the African National Congress. Many of them have dissipated with history. And I think it's littered with history of individuals. They've tried to take the ANC head on. The ANC is defeated because the ANC is like an elephant. And we think anybody, especially our deployees, we have no reason to doubt Comrade Faith that she will take what the aspirations of our people, not just of the African National Congress, because it's important to protect this asset, national asset called the national broadcaster.
Very briefly, Zizi, what is the deadline that has been set on this matter?
Well, as you are aware from the parliamentary point of view, there was a process set in motion, and that process set in motion is that, among others, they will write a letter to the remaining 4 members, they will write a letter to the Speaker, but as the African National Congress, we think that even that process may be too long to limit or to stop the damage, which we've already seen yesterday, that if we can't do anything with the remaining 4 members of the board, we're likely to see more damage to the cooperation, which have been done worse than the legal board. And we think the sooner the African National Congress, in its own way, whether to call the shareholder rep, the minister, decisively the president, who's an appointing authority, parliament and so on, to act decisively quickly. Because we can't be held into ransom by people who think that SABC is a household, and therefore they've institutionalized the successes and failures of SABC to individuals. We've got to act decisively to protect and defend their national asset.